Hello, I'm Franco Luna PumaPodcast. You're listening to Teka Teka News, balitang thinking, hindi breaking. In this episode,
For us though, kasi what we've seen though with sari-sari stores is that they are one of the best reflections in terms of how the Philippines is doing as a whole in terms of economy, in terms of preferences. These are largely ignored businesses.
we talk about the ways Filipinos behave after natural disasters. What can sari-sari stores tell us about our priorities? You just heard Andoy Montiel. He's the Chief Data Officer of Packworks, the company behind the Pack. The Pack is a mobile enterprise resource planning platform used by sari-sari stores around the country. Andoy explains it this way. The mobile app is an all-in-one cash register and notebook to automate a sales log for informal businesses. Dati, kanya-kanyang diskarte lang ang mga sari-sari stores. Notebook at ballpen, ganun. Pero ngayon, the app is used by more than 200,000 sari-sari stores across the country. Andoy says their data tells interesting stories.
The most surprising thing po is that after a disaster, especially po after the volcanic eruption and dun po din sa Odette, in the days that followed, yung pinakamabenta po na category was haircare. Top was actually haircare, second was laundry. Then inisip nga po namin, bakit? Bakit mataas yung mga yon? Kasi po, dito po yung mga bibili nyo sa sari-sari store. Kasi namin, lalo na po pag bulkan, di ba, you have ashfall. So it spiked high enough na nalampasan po niya yung food po. So hair care and laundry.
That finding came off data after 3 natural disasters. Typhoon Odette in December 2021, the Taal eruption in March, and the Abra earthquake in June. For the first 2 weeks to a month and a half after those disasters, hair care made up 18% of total sales for the sari-sari stores near the disaster zones. Cooking supplies were at 13%. On the surface, you might think of this consumer behavior as shallow or mababaw. But Andoy says it's deeper than that.
On the surface, from a culture perspective, nakikita namin, there is that sense of pride na okay lang, di ba may sakunang nangyari? Okay, pero hindi ibig sabihin nun, kawawa ako. Hindi ibig sabihin nun, pinababayaan ko ang sarili ko o ang pamilya ko. Kaya paglalabas, it's as if everything is normal. I guess, to an extent, it helps. Tamo kayo sa healing. It's that presentation that despite all of the disaster that is around me, there are some things that are still normal. Right? I still look clean. Right? I still smell clean to an extent. Right? My clothes, despite the ashfall, they're not covered in soot. I am still able to wash them.
We're going to pause for a bit now and tell you more about Packworks when we return. Beyond natural disasters, the pandemic data from sari-sari stores also spoke volumes about the times Filipinos were living in. Andoy says their sales skyrocketed during the community quarantines, but the prices were a different story.
What we saw there is because I'm a sari-sari store, hindi ko din alam kung ano ba dapat yung sisingilin ko dito. Yung SRP doesn't matter. Right? Hindi rin nila alam kung kailan ba susunod na magde-deliver. Ang dami pong panahon doon, di ba, na yung mga truck hindi sila maka-deliver dito sa mga sari-sari stores. So there was a significant amount of price volatility during those times.
For Andoy, this was proof that small businesses suffered most from the lockdowns and the ever-changing rules.
Our interpretation of that one is that, especially during the pandemic, di ba po, hindi po ganun kalinaw. Like, pag pupunta ako sa grocery, ano yung kailangan kong dalhin? Ano ba kailangan ako? Meron pang apor. Dapat, hindi ka pwedeng matanda. Meron ka dapat dala-dala na ID, mga ganon. So, nakita po namin, pag medyo nakakalito, kung ano yung kailangan para sa tao, tumataas yung bili sa mga sari-sari store. And ano po namin, kasi less risk. Sino ba namang sari-sari store ang tatanggi sa akin? Kung kailangan kong bumili ng pagkain, ng delata, ng inumin, dito na lang ako sa tapat. Hindi naman kailangan ko pa ipakita yung quarantine card sa kanya.
Packworks' data also shows that in times of disasters, sari-sari stores serve an important function. The local community turns to them first, rather than the big chain supermarkets. And yet, many sari-sari stores make very little profit and receive next to no training on how to run a business.
For those when times wherein things are difficult, and even in areas where, kasi di ba po pag mas malayo, wala masyado ibang options. Sari-sari stores become the lifeline. When there is a disaster, when you have no other choice na hindi ka makakapunta sa malalayong mga bilihin, ang sari-sari store ang bumubuhay sa komunidad.
And that was today's episode of Teka Teka. Again, I'm Franco Luna. This episode was edited by Presh Capistrano and produced by Kat Ventura. If you liked this episode, share it with a friend or two. And of course, don't forget to follow Teka Teka and PumaPodcast wherever you listen. At para sa mga mahilig manood sa YouTube, PumaPodcast na rin po kami doon. Just search PumaPodcast and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for listening.